Video recording on. Audio recording on. All right. Here goes. TMS Tuesday begins in 3, 2, 1.
Yamashita? Huh? What have you done, Yamashita?
What? For right now, let's get food.
This is the morning stream. Hold on to your butts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS, the morning stream for Tuesday, September 3rd. September. Brian,
September.
It's the 23rd day of September. That's how the song goes, so I'm just trying to be realistic here. Welcome to the
Is that
show.
how they sing it? Is that,
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, not getting the dates right.
No.
Shame.
Didn't you hear them this weekend? Were they one of the bands?
I did not. It would have been great. No, it was Kool and the Gang.
Oh, Kool and the Gang.
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Right. I mean, they're era appropriate then, at least. They're sort of all.
Oh
from
yeah.
that zone.
They would have fit in perfectly with that group. And then we got there a little bit too late for Grand Funk Railroad.
Oh, that's too bad.
The railroad had already left the station. The train had already left the station by the time we got there, because it took a while to get our Giordano's pizza, which was amazing.
Yeah, of course. Those are always
So
good. So did you?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: Did they? Did Kool and the Gang play Celebration? And if they did, how many times?
Yes.
How many times?
They opened the concert with just the horn strain from Celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And then the band started taking the stage while they had that, and then they closed with it, and they did probably like a 10-minute version of it, which
Celebrate Sandwich is what it is.
even see that's even 1 minute of that song is enough for me. I don't need that. I don't know if it comes from being from doing the wedding DJ thing,
Yeah.
because I always had to play that stupid song, or it just feels like such a pandery song. It feels like a song that was written with the intent that it was going to be played at sporting events when the team wins, or weddings when everybody's there and getting together and having fun, or whatever. It just feels pandery. I don't like songs that are like written with the intent that it's going to be played ad nauseum for certain things.
Sure.
You know?
Countless people who get elected to office, like if you're a public servant and you get elected, they're going to play Celebration on the stage and drop balloons. Yeah.
Right. Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, or whatever that song is, it feels like the most egregious example of this, where where someone's trying to write something that's going to get played while the Blue Angels are flying over the stadium and fireworks are going.
Yeah, it's patronizing. I don't like it either. It annoys me. Songs like that, and it's not always their fault. Sometimes they just take on that life of their own. What's the one Clinton used when he won that was controversial at the time?
It was "Don't Stop" by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac, "Don't Stop," and then
which I wouldn't say. I don't think they had any intent of that. Any intent of that being used.
Oh, not
in the
at
way
all.
that it was used.
Yeah, not at all. I just think that it was controversial at the time because wasn't there somebody in the band who didn't like Clinton or something? This always happens. Somebody will get up,
really?
they'll win a thing, like Trump will win a thing, and then he'll play a song that pisses off AC/DC or somebody because he used it or whatever. And they're like, my politics don't align with this person who won, so therefore don't play our song. It seems like it always happens. Bruce Springsteen had one. I think it was "Born in the USA." It was played at some.
Born in the USA, which is, which if you've listened to the lyrics, if you've paid attention to the song, the meaning of it is, how badly the veterans were treated when they came back from Vietnam.
Right.
It has nothing to do with it's not jingoistic at all. It's not like, I love America. It's like, man, America, you really effed up the way you treated those veterans.
Yeah,
Woo!
we were bad at how we treated Vietnam people coming home. And that's true, but no one listens to those things. They just play it because they go, yeah,
they just play it because
it
has USA in the title. It must be. It's like Hey Ya by Outkast.
Yeah.
Somebody plays play that thinking it's this great sweet song. No, it's about splitting up, divorcing, breaking up.
Yeah.
It's not happy.
Yeah, like
Every breath you take is about a stalker. Quit using that as your first dance, young married couples.
What's that kind of hippie song recently that goes, not recently, a few years ago, but it's all the cool kids with their pumped up kicks, you better
Oh,
run.
yeah, right.
That's
yeah.
about a kid running around with a
Phosphor,
gun, going to shoot all the other kids who are too cool for
Right.
him. It's a school shooting song.
Exactly.
It's not this
yes.
happy little, yeah, all the cool kids with. It's not. It's a bunch of people going to get
No,
shot.
It's not.
Nobody listens.
I don't like Mondays, by the way, by Boomtown Rats was based on a school shooting too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Pearl Jam?
It was actually
Jeremy?
based on a true story. Jeremy, I think, is
It's a kid who's about to explode, right? Like
yes, I think so. Like
yeah.
he's on the edge. I mean, he bit the recess lady's breast. How can I forget?
Eddie Vedder will never forget the recess lady's breast.
How can I forget?
Yeah.
And he hit me with a surprise lift. Back wide open. It was like the day. Like the day I heard.
Yeah, that's the song.
That's
90s.
the one, people.
90s. Catch it. Catch
Yeah.
the 90s.
Grunge, man,
was great.
grunge.
I loved grunge. Grunge was great. I was watching Happy Gilmore the other day. Kind of holds up. Still okay. And I don't
Which
know why.
one? Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, it was on in the hotel we were at over the weekend. And it's funny. It's still funny. It's got moments. It's not perfect. It's not great.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about this. So the not Telluride. It was the movie. What's the Sundance? I think. No. What's the one in Colorado?
Oh, I
I
don't
think
know.
it is
Telluride Film
It
Festival?
was-
That sounds right.
the Telluride Film Festival. It just didn't sound right to me, so I didn't want to run with it.
Yeah.
But yes, let me make sure of that because I'm curious. I've got it right here. Telluride. Yeah, Telluride Film Festival. I always think of the Telluride Music Festival. I keep forgetting there's a Telluride Film Festival. But Adam Sandler
Yeah.
and Adam Driver getting celebrated at Telluride for their amazing film work in Adam Driver did something called Marriage Story and The Report. Adam Sandler did this thing called Uncut Gems, which apparently people are loving. Like the critics, like the people who saw it at Telluride are saying, celebrate this dude.
He's good. He always has been. He's just, you know.
He lost his way for a little while,
Yeah.
right? Like he was,
Yeah, that's all it was. Well, I wouldn't even say he lost his way. He just
Sally and Sam, or what was the name of that when he played twins?
Brady's sister.
male
Yeah,
and female?
that was
Yes.
terrible. It was awful. But no, he just doubled down on dumb comedy for a lot of his career, and then didn't spend a lot of time doing more cool things like what was the one he did with what was that called?
Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love was great. He was great.
So good.
Yeah.
And Love Reign Over Me, or Love Reign Over Me. I'm trying to remember if it's named. I mean, it is named after the Who song. The Who leaves out the V, so it's Love Reign Over Me. But I think it's Reign Over Me is the name of the movie. About a guy who lost his wife in 9/11 and does nothing but play. What is it called? Shadow of the Colossus. What was that game where?
With the big
that
giant
video
creatures,
game?
big huge creatures you get up on top of and attack. Yeah,
Is that called Shadow of the Colossus?
Yep, that's it.
Colossus. Yeah.
Yep.
He does nothing but sit at home, play that all day, and Don Cheadle has to try and pull him out of his head.
That's a weird thing because that game has an ending, so I don't know how long he could play that. That's weird. I wonder if they acknowledge that.
He
in the
probably
movie.
just starts over again.
Yeah, but my whole
He's
point
grieving,
was
Scott. He's grieving.
My whole point was in Happy Gilmore, he wears a really good plaid shirt that would be indicative of the '90s grunge scene.
Oh,
that's
gotcha,
why we
okay.
were talking about that.
I was wondering. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know where we were going.
Yeah, I don't
Boy,
know.
did we veer off course.
We did. The car is in the ditch. Someone help us out. Jaws of life. All right.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. I got a question for you. This is an interesting one.
Sure.
Over the weekend, Kim and I had a little celebratory
How was
away.
your anniversary weekend getaway trip?
It was very nice. We went to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and enjoyed a big,
nice.
fat, freaking tenderloin awesome thing that I still wish I had in my mouth right now. It was amazing.
Nice.
It was really good. And then what else we do? We just did. It was kind of a foodie trip. So we ate at all our favorite places and did breakfast at Eva's and like all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
And part of the day we were kind of out and around. And I'm like, you know what? Let's stop by the mall. I want to see if the Apple Store has those Mac Pros in yet. I just want to see if they're there. And if they're not there, not that I'm going to buy them because they're too expensive. I just want to see one.
Right.
I want to see one. Dude, they're $8,000. I cannot afford that freaking thing. There's no way I'm going to own that. I know this already, so I just kind of want to slobber on it. And I want to see if they update the iMac Pro because maybe that'll be the middle ground. I don't know. Anyway.
Sure.
So we go in there. We check that out. Everything's fine. They don't have them yet. I leave. And now we're sitting out in the kind of mall area just talking. And this old man comes walking down the thing. And by old, I mean in like, I don't know, early 70s probably. Older guy.
Okay. All right.
Not unusual to see an old guy in a mall walking, just to get his exercise.
No.
Not even that
No,
unusual.
like they use that as a good get out of the elements, enjoy the set temperature.
Sure. And it's not even that unusual to see one with a fanny pack. Would you say that would be true?
No, very much not unusual. Very much not unusual to see that.
Yes. And chat room, I know a lot of you are from parts of the world where a fanny pack means something very different. But I am talking about the little pack on the side of your butt.
We're not talking about vaginas.
No vaginas here. So this thing, that's fine. Again, you want to carry your stuff. You're an older guy. I get it. You don't. You need a place to put your hooch. So you put your hooch in a. By hooch, I don't mean drink or whiskey. I just mean stuff.
There
right?
are some parts of the world where hooch means something different.
Yeah, hooch is probably the wrong word. But anyway, he's wearing this fanny pack. Now, I don't have a problem. It's off to the side or even up front or whatever. This guy's wearing it like a low-hanging cod piece.
Like he might actually have a hole cut in the back and might have his unit in there.
Yes. It did occur to me that his unit might be in there because it was so low, and the way he walked, it would sway. It would like shake forward and backward. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Well, keeps
right?
his scrotum from dragging across the ground, Scott.
I mean, I really did for a while wonder if there was some medical thing, like maybe he's got like a hidden colostomy bag in there. Or there's some kind of whatever.
Just doesn't have it. He probably just doesn't have it, cinched tight, right? Like he basically got it, clicked the little clicker in there, put his what would he have in there? Probably his I'd say there's got to be some lip balm in there.
Yeah.
There's probably a
trail mix, maybe.
Physical address book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's nothing electronic in there. Are you kidding me?
No, definitely not. Especially if it's that low. You don't want any weight in there that's going to be swinging back and forth as you walk and constantly just whacking.
Oh yeah.
Whacking you in the TPZ.
In the. Wait. The TPZ. What is that?
That's the 2% zone, Scott.
Oh, the 2% zone. I've never heard that. I like that. It's very good. Well, anyway, I couldn't understand it. I felt like saying something. I didn't. But I don't think you should wear it that low. And I wish I would have gotten a picture so you could just see what I'm talking about because it was ridiculous. You could see it as he got past you. You could see from behind him it swaying around between his legs.
You could see.
It was bad. Not supposed to do that. I don't think he understood. And then we thought, all right, we got to get home, but we're kind of hungry, and we got this thing at the house later, so everyone's coming over. Why don't we stop and just get something cheap and easy? Let's just get food. And Kim says, well, what do you want to get? And I said, you know what? Popeyes. If they have the sandwiches today, that'd be awesome. I thought, well, maybe it's a Sunday.
No way.
They might have some extras. It was pure hope, right? Just hope for hope's sake.
Yeah.
I go in there, or we pull up to one. We are greeted immediately by a sign out front. I'd like to share this with the chat. Let me just paste this in here. Here we go. This is the tweet I put up. This is an actual photo that I took. There we go. Brian, the link's right there if you want to see it. It was a giant
see it right now, the photo.
piece of paper with a big giant text on it that says, "No more sandwiches!" with 3 underlines underneath it to help emphasize that there are no more
One underline,
sandwiches.
people might think, oh, they're joking. 2 underlines, maybe they really do have some in the back. But 3 underlines, oh, they're serious.
Yeah, they're serious about it. And they were grouchy. We decided to get something there anyway.
Oh, wow.
But they were so grouchy with people because I think, if I had to guess, if you work at Popeyes right now, every other person is asking for the thing and you're telling them, sorry, we're out. And it's constant all day. You must be so sick of it. So I understand why they're all grumpy. I get it. They looked at us like, please don't be those people to ask for the chicken sandwich. Please don't be those people to ask for the chicken sandwich.
Well, there's a Popeyes in Houston that got held up at gunpoint.
Yeah, I heard about that last night. Somebody pulled a gun on them because they
Yeah.
didn't have the chicken sandwich. What is that about? Oh, my gosh.
Jeez Louise.
How? Okay, I will admit that when I had that thing before everything all hell broke loose, it was amazing. It was the best chicken sandwich I've ever had from a fast food restaurant. Okay, it was good.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Are we out of chickens? Are we out of bread? What exactly are we out of that they can't just make more?
I think they're out of the
is this
buns.
Just a ploy? This is just a ploy to get people to get their app, right?
I
like
mean,
that's what it is.
Maybe. I don't know. Does the app, unless the app tells me when the chicken sandwiches are in, then no thanks.
That's what the app is supposed to do. Yeah, it's supposed to
Okay.
tell you when the chicken sandwiches, but
Yeah.
is back. But
If anyone out there knows, you want to send in a call or an email and you tell us what's the deal, we don't know. Here's my guess. It's a combination of those two things because there's plenty of chicken at Popeyes. That's what we had. I had tenders. Kim
plenty
had
of chicken in the
meal.
world. We can get chicken.
Yeah.
Chickens are not hard to find.
Right, but at Popeyes, there's plenty of just straight up chicken. Like they're not out of everything. They're only out
Yeah.
of the sandwiches. So I think what's happening is the
Right.
sandwiches come pre-breaded, pre-spicy, pre-whatever in a certain format, and that's what they're out of. They're out of those.
Oh, you
because
don't think
people
so?
mind.
They don't actually like deep fry them there or
No.
anything like that. It's like
I don't think
they
so.
get it frozen. It's like heated up.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how
That's
they
a
do it.
bummer.
Now, the regular
yeah.
chicken there, I think they do fry up there. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's my guess. I don't think this is them doing this on purpose.
Well, Rainbow Bright says that they do deep fry them there. So I mean, I'm thinking, all right, so it's the sauce. There's no part of this that I feel like is a natural resource that has been depleted.
Well,
whatever the sauce is, whatever this magical mystical sauce is that they're putting on this thing, I'm sure it's household ingredients that could be bought at a grocery store. For,
I mean,
and
probably,
combined in a very specific amount.
probably, but in their
Cayenne
in their
pepper and
like in their,
cumin, oregano, whatever.
in their distribution method or plan or logistics or whatever, there's probably plenty of chicken on delivery days,
Yeah.
and they're just running out. And they're not going to go, all right, send Bill to Costco and get some fake. Like, it all has to be their thing. It has to be their
Right,
stuff.
it has to be well, okay, but corporate could go to Costco and get those things, arrange them in the exact amounts required, deliver them to the Popeyes restaurants to smear on their chicken sandwiches after they deep fry them, whatever.
This makes me wonder if they have a whole bunch of chicken for the sandwiches in the morning and they're just gone by
Yeah.
noon. That's what I wonder. Like, maybe that's what
It's
it is.
just amazing, like how, I don't know if it was, it's brilliant on their part to have this kind of word of mouth thing that just explodes. And then that's the point at which they run out. And that's also the point at which they unveil their brand new app.
The best thing about this sign that was on the door is the door is right next to one of their big placard advertisements that says,
Yeah.
try one of our new crispy sandwiches, both spicy and regular, right there. And then, no more sandwiches!
Right, exactly.
Take down your signs then. Don't advertise it.
When you've got shirts and prints and things like that in the Frog Pants store, which are fantastic and easy for anyone to buy by going to frogpants.com/store.
Nice.
I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
If all of a sudden there is massive demand for it's a frap,
yeah.
or it's a snack. It's a snack, Admiral Snack Bar shirt.
Yeah.
Do you just put up a big sign saying, we're out, we're never going to get any more? Or do you contact your t-shirt supplier, who we both know, and have more of them made right away?
Well, they ship from him, so it's him that would have the stock. But if we run out, I mean, the store has, let's say, 50 shirts in inventory. If it sells out, it will warn us when there's only 10, whenever the alarm is, like 10 left or something.
Right.
And if we run out completely, it'll just say sold out. And yes, we would want to quickly get more shirts in.
Exactly. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. I just don't think there's a same day fix for a multinational
Not
chain.
a same day, but they've been out for 2 weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, but that's my question. Are they getting them out every day and just selling out every day? Because that's just a volume problem.
I think they've been out since 2 weeks ago. Like, I don't think that they've gotten more run out again.
Oh.
Like August.
Oh, I
let's
didn't know
see.
that.
August 27th.
Should get the app
No.
and see.
You should get the app.
That's how you get you, dude. They'll get you with the app.
August 23rd or 21st is when this thing went crazy. So I guess it's been almost a week and a half. And then they sold out 1 week after this thing went viral, and I guess we're not even at a week yet. Okay, so
Hasn't been that
so
long.
it's maybe not a day 1 fix, but I guess I'm crazy hoping for a day 5 or a day 6 fix.
I would have thought you could get some by now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to see some of the reviews on this app. Useless. Can't order chicken sandwich. That's when guy says that. Let's see. Offers, Popeyes. Okay. This app doesn't tell you anything. I don't even think this notifies you. Huh. All right. Anyway, it's quite the conundrum. No chicken at Popeyes. I guess go to Chick-fil-A. Do what you got to do. Just don't go on a Sunday.
Lemonade in the chat room says, "How's dieting going, Scott and Brian?" And I said, "Great, because I can't buy a deep fried chicken sandwich."
That's right.
It's going
Same
so
here.
I have to settle for a vegetable.
Yeah, I'm still doing my intermittent fasting thing, and I'm still steadily losing weight. And really, in the hours between, I could lose faster if I didn't eat. Occasionally I'll just go a little bit nuts. But I've been eating pretty well. But on this trip or on this weekend thing, we ate kind of extravagantly because it was a weekend out and all that. But I still stuck to my hours, and I still lost weight during that time. So it's working for me. I kind of like not having to count anything. It drives me crazy. I mean, I know I'm smart enough to know that I shouldn't have Coke for breakfast and a freaking pizza for lunch. Like, I know better.
5
right?
Margaritas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is key. I mean, that's gonna that and combine that with the intermittent fasting is totally the way to go. I couldn't do it. There's my schedule. There's too many times when I'm out and about or traveling, and trying to stick to meals within a certain time period is just not going to work for me. But
You like that breakfast time. You want a good breakfast. That's what you want, right?
I do. I want to get up, want to shower, want to prepare for the day, and then I want to shove some eggs in my face.
Yeah, I don't mind that either, but it turns out once you get used to it, I don't mind starting at 11. It's not bad. Like, as soon as the show ends, it's right around 11 when I'm
Holy
done
cow.
posting and everything.
That's about what I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for lunch.
Well, see, that's what's cool is because I don't have breakfast and then lunch. I have one meal instead.
Yep. Right.
And I might have some snacky snack between, and then I'll eat something before 7, and then I'm done. I think that's why I'm losing weight. I'm just eating
Most
less food.
important meal of the day, Scott. Most important meal of the day.
I'm literally losing weight because I'm eating less food, but it's wrapped in this package of you're intermittently fasting. Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm just eating less. I'm just eating less. That's all it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's that.
Whatever works. It's that's what you got to do. Whatever works.
Yeah. Did I hear a rumor you saw The Lion King over the weekend? Is that true?
I did. We went yesterday to see The Lion King. We're putting our AMC A list to work, so we went and saw Lion King yesterday afternoon. It was good.
Yeah.
I like the changes that they made. Besides, obviously, the big CGI cell animation to CGI change. I think it's gorgeous. It is a beautiful movie, and there are times when your mind totally forgets that you're watching CGI animals run around in a CGI.
Wasn't most
background.
of the set? I thought most of the set was actual location shots. I thought somebody told me that.
There may be a few, but there are times when, that Pride Rock or whatever they call it that they're always standing on. That's
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a real Pride Rock that they could film on location, but
Good point. Yeah, probably a mix. Probably a mix of things.
probably a mix. But Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner as Timon and Pumbaa, amazing, really, really funny, and they change enough of their dialogue that if you're used to what you've seen 1,000 times with your kids on the cell animation Lion King, you'll be pleasantly surprised, and they even kind of break the fourth wall a couple times, which I really like.
Huh. All right. I was worried about those two because there's a lot of middle part of that movie that requires them to be good, and if they're good, then that's good to hear.
They're good. Yeah, you don't even see them until halfway through. You know, I mean, they're latecomers. And then we also saw Ready or Not, which was purely based on I don't know what movies are out right now. Let's look at Rotten Tomatoes, see what's got a really good score. So we went and saw
I never even heard of
this
this.
film called Ready or Not,
Yeah.
which I don't think I'd heard of, or if I'd heard of it, it wasn't something I'd heard a lot about. But it had an 87% score on Rotten Tomatoes. So I said, all right, let's do it.
Mm.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it was. It's basically like a. Probably the best comparison is like Get Out meets Clue and Cabin in the Woods. It's that kind of jokey horror, but it's still kind of gory. There's kind of a Get Out vibe to the whole thing about this family that, where stuff under the surface is kind of kooky, kind of nuts, and I don't know. It's a good streamer once it comes out. I wouldn't say rush out to the theaters to see it while it's still in theaters, but we get three movies a week, so we're like, let's go see it.
Yeah, let's see this here. I'm looking at who's in this. Do I know anyone in this?
Andy McDowell for sure.
Yeah, I like her. She's cool.
She's cool. You might know Samara Weaving. I don't know if she's any relation to Hugo Weaving.
Oh, maybe. I know Adam Brody. I know that guy.
Oh yeah. You know Adam Brody. Yeah.
All right. This looks all right. Oh, this is what a
Yeah.
decadent blast to watch a comic takedown of the rich tone and rude energy of a horror thriller. Zub, zub, zub. Yeah. This is and people seem to like it. And she looks very familiar. The Samara Weaving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's an Australian who, again, does not play an Australian in this thing. She is Hugo Weaving's niece.
Oh, she could be what's her name, sister.
Yeah, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie's sister. Yeah, and she's
Totally,
also Australian,
yes.
I guess. Yeah, the Australians,
Yep.
they know how to make awesome blonde ladies. You know what I mean? Like really good actors.
I know. It's like they just grow them in a lab somewhere in Sydney, outside the the suburbs of Sydney. There's like a lab that just cranks out very attractive blonde women.
Yeah, and a couple of weird-looking dudes like Hugo, her uncle.
Right.
Let me ask you this: is it?
Yes.
How do I put this? Is it so jokey that it's going to feel like parody? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't
No,
want it to be scary
it's-
movie level parody. I want it to be.
It's not scary movie level parody. It's like Cabin in the Woods level. Well, even that was a little bit more. Once you get to the end, it was
Yeah.
kind of felt a little more parody. What's a good comparison? I wouldn't even say it's as jokey as like Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, there's some tongue-in-cheek moments that Tucker and Dale versus Evil, maybe. Yeah, Sidian, that's possibly a good comparison.
It sounds like it's a horror movie that's not afraid to have a little fun with itself.
Exactly, yes. I mean, there's scary parts, there's jump scares, but there's the deaths, while gory, are kind of weirdly amusingly done.
And is the title Ready or Not is a reference to Here I Come, Ready or Not, like the hide and seek kind
Hide
of?
and seek.
Okay.
Hide and seek, which is the whole premise of the film, is that this family wants to play basically she's marrying into the family.
Yeah.
They have a ritual where they have to play hide and seek with anyone who wants to join the family, and it's a deadly game of hide and seek.
And it's a period piece, right? This looks like.
No, it's not. It's just they're just really old people.
Are
like,
they?
Not like really old traditional family. It's got a very period piece looking movie poster, but it
I'm
takes
looking at
place in here and now.
screenshots. It looks like they're living in the 1850s in some
It all
Victorian.
takes place in a very fancy shishi mansion that is
Okay.
kind of
Are they kind of cosplaying a little bit, or like what are they?
Not really.
That's interesting to me because everybody in here
Yeah.
looks like they're all fancied up like an old school. Like nobody has a cell phone. It looks like Victorian.
Yeah,
England.
they're the cell phones do play into this. So,
Really? Okay.
Yeah, somebody uses FaceTime during this film, so it's modern. It just happens to be that they're in a very old mansion, and it's done very, they're an old traditional family who's just come from a wedding, so they're kind of in their best tuxedos and stuff, so they kind of look like it's
Hmm.
a little bit older.
Yeah. The poster almost looks like a Western. It's weird. They got axes.
It almost does, and with the bandolero
Yeah.
around the bride.
Yeah. That looks good.
Anyway,
That seems like
Yeah.
I'd have fun with that. I may have to take him and see
it's
it.
not bad.
Yeah. All right. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah,
I
you
am.
could do far worse for like a $5 Tuesday night movie than that. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Very much looking forward to it. We've saved our third A-list of the week for maybe seeing it this weekend.
Yeah. No, I'll do that. Jackalope Ashley. LOL. Just watch the trailer, Scott. I can't. I'm doing a show right now.
Yeah, we're busy.
How
Come
about
on!
hold on, everybody.
Well,
Sit
I think
still for a
she's
minute and a half while I watch a trailer. That's a great
I
idea.
think she's implying that after the show, instead of asking me so many questions about it, just watch the trailer.
We're
I
making
don't think she means right
content.
now, but I think
Making content. That's what
we
we
like
do
the
here.
exactly. We're talking about fun stuff, and then I went to the Taste of Colorado. Talked about that. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I gotta give it to. I almost said I gotta give it up. Give it up, baby, give it up.
Yeah.
To Casey and the Sunshine Band. Number one, dude is like 70 or 68 years old. Casey,
Oh,
whose first name is Casey, I think.
is it really Casey? Like Casey?
It's Casey, is in Casey.
Oh,
Casey.
all right. I was Casey.
Yeah, and I don't know how many of the actual original Sunshine Band members are still in the Sunshine Band. There was only one of the gang members of Kool and the Gang that was actually an original Kool and the Gang member. I don't even think it was the same Kool. It was just one gang member.
Oh, it's just the gang member.
That's right. Oh, Harry Wayne Casey is the guy. So his last name is Casey, Casey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they did. I guess they do it under the name, or they do a shortening with KC, like the letter K, letter C, right? That's how they do it.
Yeah, that's how they exactly.
Okay.
He took the stage name Casey instead of calling Harry and the Sunshine Band.
Gotcha.
KC and the Sunshine Band has a little bit more
Sure,
fun to it.
I agree.
You know what? They put on a great show. He could barely breathe because of the altitude, and so he had to keep going backstage to do oxygen. But
Oh man,
they rocked it. As much as I hated disco back in the day, kind of hearing "Get Down Tonight" and "Shake Your Booty" and "I'm Your Boogeyman" and stuff like that, it's like kind of forgot about how much of these songs were actually kind of fun to listen to. Certainly not something that I'm going to put in my day-to-day playlist, but I'd forgotten that they had some pretty good hits.
did they play Boogie Shoes? Did that come up?
Of course they did. I think they opened with that one, actually. That was from Saturday Night Fever. So they started with that one. And then the guys they had like 6 number ones or 5 number ones, 20 songs in the top 10 or something. I mean, they really had a good
Had a decent run, sure.
yeah.
They're still running. What's funny is that the "I'm Your Boogeyman," they have a lot. The word "boogie" is in like 8 songs.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like Air Supply and the word "love." Like 4 of the only 4 songs that Air Supply took to number 1 had the word "love" in the title.
Yep.
So Air Supply is all about the love.
Yeah.
Casey and the Sunshine Band is all about the boogie.
I've had some people annoyed with my distaste for Air Supply recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't like that I don't like Air Supply. I mean, come
Whatever.
on. I can unironically.
More for everybody else, right? Exactly. Like, you're not going to get in the way of their enjoyment of Air Supply by not liking it. So
No.
what's the big deal?
Yeah, like you guys listen to Air Supply to your heart's content. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not for me so much. That's all.
Jeez.
All right. We should
Besides,
do the news.
they're all out of love. They're so lost without you.
They're completely lost without you. This we know. This we know.
They're
This is
lost in
your
love.
radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, check it out. It's time for the news brought to you by.
Current Geek. Tonight at 5 p.m. Mountain. Watch it live at frogpants.tv or catch the podcast at currentgeek.com.
That's right. We're finally back to a normal schedule. Tom's no
Yay,
longer out
Tom's
of town.
back.
Yep. We did it last
Yeah.
week, but it was on Thursday because everything was all effed up. And so you're getting a new one tonight. It's going to be awesome. Possum.
Super. Super.
Firefighters called to a barn after 40 tons of chicken poop caught on fire.
Nice. I didn't realize chicken poop was that flammable, but I guess so.
Yeah, you thought the hurricane was the only natural disaster happening, but apparently flammable chicken poop. Maybe that's why they don't have a chicken sandwich, is all the chicken poop set all the chickens on fire.
we finally figured out the Popeyes problem.
Yeah,
Wow.
the secret
Solved.
recipe. It's chicken poop the whole time. Firefighters were called to a barn in East Devon after a huge pile of chicken poo caught on fire. One fire engine from Middlemore. If this sounds like it's from the UK, it certainly sounds like
It's gotta
to me.
be the UK, yeah. Oh yeah, Torquay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from
Which is Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers, yeah, or farty towels, yeah. Let's see. The one from Topsham and the water carrier from Torquay responded to the incident in Clyst, St. George, which happened around 8 p.m. on Friday evening. The spokesman for Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service said, "Oh man, the Europeans with their awesome names."
They doubled down on all of their British-sounding locations for
I love
this
that
article.
ministry of this and that. I love that kind of stuff. Anyway, they said they had 40 tons of chicken manure that had been stored in the barn. That is a lot of freaking chicken poo.
Yeah.
On attendance, the officer in charge confirmed that the manure was smoldering inside the barn in Woodbury Road. The farmer helped fire crews by using his loader to remove the poo from the barn into the open air. The crew then stopped the fire from spreading further by using one-horse reel jet. Don't know what that is.
I don't know what the hell that means. It sounds like they just randomly rolled some dice and said random word generator,
Yep.
one horse reel jet.
One-horse reel jet. I wonder if that means one-horse-powered water jet, maybe? Like it's enough
Maybe.
power to be like a super
What's
water.
my favorite song by the Wallflowers, one horse reel jet.
You know, they were great. What are they doing now?
What are they doing?
Yeah, you know they've got talent. Let's see. We've got another story here. Oh, another Popeyes
Oh.
story. This is
We should have saved our Popeyes talk for now.
yeah. So we had the shooting yesterday, or not the shooting, but the guy threatening with a gun because he couldn't get his chicken sandwich. Now you have this. This is actually a few days old, but it turns out Popeyes' big, huge chicken sandwich launch that's causing all this controversy and shortages, they did it by teaming up with a restaurant that ripped them off. So 2 years ago, a small
really?
Southern-themed Carolina restaurant in Long Beach, California became a national media fixation when the owner got busted for reheating Popeye's fried chicken tenders and serving them to customers as part of his chicken and waffle special without disclosing the origin of the first ingredient,
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow. So
which is pretty great.
just went and bought. So see, he was smart. He says, "I've got demand. I'm going to go to Popeyes, get chicken tenders, bring them back to my restaurant, please my customers."
You're kind of
Popeyes could learn from this.
Yeah, you're kind of predicting exactly what they did earlier, what you're suggesting Popeyes do. Anyway, but in a
Right.
bizarre marketing savvy twist, Popeyes is teaming up with the hashtag PopeyesGate restaurant, Sweet Dixie Chicken, to help launch that new product that everybody's wild for now. The chain's first ever chicken sandwich, a buttermilk battered chicken fillet on a brioche bun with pickles and mayo. Oh, it's so good, dude. It's making me hungry talking about it. Will be sold at Sweet Dixie Chicken today and tomorrow as a teaser before it lands on Popeye's menus. This all, of course, happened about a week before this stuff kicked off.
Sure.
Let's see. On August 12th, that's when it happened. Popeyes also filmed the commercial with the mastermind of the original chicken hoax. His name is restaurateur Kimberly Sanchez. Oh, maybe it's a lady. Anyway, I don't know. There's lots of Kims. You never know.
Could be, probably.
Kim Burley, typically
Yeah,
female.
when you have the Burley is a woman.
Yeah, you get the Burley, but even though Burley usually means men, somehow putting it on
Yeah.
Kim makes it feminine. So there
But
you go.
Kim Coates is not a Kimberly. He's
No,
a Kim.
he's not. And he would like to know.
Kimberly Coates.
Yeah.
Please welcome to the stage, Kimberly Coates.
Hey, everybody, have you seen Paper? Good night.
Did you read the paper? It has
Yeah.
my name on it. Did you read the paper?
Let's see. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I told you this. Dunaway has been playing No Man's Sky as well, and he found a planet that is
He has.
only water, pure water planet, no land
Yeah.
at all. He named it the Costner, which is pretty great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was directed to a planet like that for a monolith or something, or no, because it had cadmium and I needed cadmium, and flew around that thing for half an hour looking for one island where I could get some cadmium. Like, screw this, I'll just hop into a black hole, go to another system.
Yeah, there's plenty of cat. That's funny it sent you there. That's nuts. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
water
we
ones
need
are
cadmium,
cool for
too.
if you're doing water stuff like the water bases. Those planets are cool.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing that,
Yeah.
they're
I
kind
still
of
have not done a water base. But I did get to the end of the Artemis storyline. I'm not kind of continuing with the Apollo storyline, but which is, you know, they run parallel.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a little decision you have to make in this game that is one of the most difficult decisions I've ever had to make in a video game. It's weird.
Did you find the Kvax or the truth about the little Kvax guys, the little shrimpy dudes? Did you find out what they're up to?
Don't know if I have yet.
Okay.
The little toad-looking characters.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't, because it's.
Nope. I imagine I'll get there because I've now got one working for me in my base, and I bet his storyline of like, bring me more stuff for the base. I need a weapons guy. Get me a weapons guy.
Yeah, he's a spaz. Those guys are basically Ferengi. That's what they remind me of.
They kind of are, little toad Ferengi.
Toad Ferengi. Ferengi toads. All right, here's a good story for you. Some more food-related stuff.
Sure.
A noodle vendor claimed that they urinated in the broth to cure muscle aches. Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
A person claiming to be a noodle vendor, or as I would say, noodle folk, with lots of customers, said their shop was very popular because their dishes helped cure muscle aches and pains. The secret ingredient of the noodle was the vendor's urine. That's his pee-pee, you guys, his pee-pee.
A secret ingredient. Pee.
Oh, what's Bobby Flay going to do this week with it? Now he's got to work with pee.
Bakusan, yes, go ahead. Yes, it looks like he's peeing in the chafing dish. He's peeing in the chafing dish and placing it in the microwave. All right, thank you. Bakusan, yes. He's making a urine ice cream now.
Do you think all the contestants today knew to bring a full bladder? They didn't know what the secret ingredient was, but now they do. Oh, no, that guy hasn't drank water for hours.
Oh, no, he peed before he got here. He's now going into Bakusan, yes, he's now going into the audience to request pee from audience members.
It's just funny how they always have to, like, address each other in that way.
Yes, Bakusan, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that whole thing, like
the guy on the floor. I love that. I love that show.
It's pretty great. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I like it. Anyway, the secret ingredient is pee. The post was in response to a picture that was posted on the fan page. Yak Dangs Diao Jat High Return version 1.2.
I love that we have to give the fan page.
Go look it up, guys. Enjoy.
Yak Dang Diao Jat High Return Volume 12,
yeah,
V12.
Or V12, not 1.2. The poster said that they had many customers, occasionally construction workers. They claim that they secretly urinate in the broth to help with their customers' ailments. Some of the people shrieked with disgust. Others said that it was probably a post to discredit the group. They suggested that it might be a genuine belief of the poster that drinking urine was good for you, but it was unlikely to be true that they put their own urine in the soup for customers to drink. Listen, full stop. Just stop putting pee in things. That's it. Just don't do it.
No kidding.
It doesn't do it. It's not fixing your aches and your pains. I promise you it's not. Just get rid of it.
I wonder if they enjoy their own food, right? Like, do you think that I would never eat this. It's got my pee in it. Are you kidding me? I'm not crazy.
Drinking their own supply. Is that what you're saying?
Getting high on their own supply was about the phrase I was about to use, yes.
Well, anyway, that's a thing. Very weird. Finally, we got this story.
All right.
We've been holding these stories since Wednesday because Thursday we had a very long Gidget segment.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Fortuna family returned from
Fortuna.
Yes, all the big tentacle heads,
Twilight heads.
Yep. Yeah, da-dee-da, Jedi. Anyway,
well done. Well done, pulling out the Bib Fortuna quote.
Once in a while, that serves me. They returned from dinner to a naked, selfie-taking burglar in their bathtub. Actually, burglars. There's multiples in there. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Let's see. This is
Were they wearing pig masks? Call back. Listen to last week's show. I guess that's we pride ourselves on not having any continuity, but that one you might need to go a couple weeks back.
There are enough listeners who work really hard to maintain the continuity of TMS that I think we have to reward them once in a while. I think that's fine.
We do, and celebrate the lore keepers.
Yeah.
of TMS.
They're the weirdos among us, and we need to celebrate them.
That's right.
Anyway, this is what the family said. They returned to these naked people. We came home from dinner to find these two in our house, as resident Tara Johnson. That's my sister's name. My wayward sister, Tara.
Wayward sister. Oh well.
Carry on my wayward
Yeah, I almost went there, but I felt like it was just too low hanging fruit.
sibling. I guess I can't say son. Anyway, wrote on Facebook, the girl was completely naked in the kitchen cooking dinner while the guy was taking a bath. So it was a dude and a lady. Sergeant Jason Keitel of the Fortuna Police Department said officers responded to the home. And inside the home, officers found Christopher Michael Bacon. Christopher Michael Bacon.
Michael Bacon. Huh.
And Osha Marie.
Is that what she was cooking in the kitchen?
If you're not careful, don't cook bacon while you're naked, is all I'm saying. That's bad news. You just get all the little oily bits on you. Don't do it.
So,
Anyway.
I guess I'm confused.
Yeah.
When they got home,
Yeah.
she was naked in the kitchen cooking dinner. He was taking a bath, but then it says that the police found the two of them in the bathtub.
Yeah, I think they got into they don't get into the details here, but my guess is they're weird and on drugs. And the lady was like cooking in the kitchen and wandered back into the tub and got in the tub. And by the time the cops got there, they were both in the tub. That's my thinking. I could be
Wow,
wrong about
okay.
that. But it does say officers found Christopher Michael Bacon and Osha Marie Veneta nude inside of the family's hot tub. Boy, how many days do you scrub that until you feel okay about being in there again?
Just replace the tub. I don't know.
Move out. Move.
Yeah, looking at these two, I'm gonna say that
Oh, yeah, here's a picture.
methamphetamines is a factor.
Yeah, probably. I mean, no offense to heavy drug users, but we're gonna put this photo up. All right, there they are. They look like they're they've been around the block a few times. They've moved. They've busted into people's houses, taken their stuff, and been naked in their tubs before. This is not.
May have spent a little bit of time in the bathroom at the Las Vegas Jack in the Box, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know right what you mean.
If you know what I mean. Where is the Lost Coast, by the way? See, this is from the Lost Coast Outpost.
Oh, I don't know. Have you been?
Oh, looks like Eureka, maybe California. I'm guessing then.
Oh, this is probably north, like Bakersfield sort of zone.
Northern, yeah, like Bakersfield or Redding, north of Sacramento.
That is definitely meth country for California.
Yeah,
Bakersfield in particular. I always hear pretty methy out there.
pretty methy.
It's a very big. You guys have made a lot of meth. It's a big myth. Let's see. They told the outpost it was later discovered the two suspects also used a cell phone found inside the house to take selfies, which the family shared on Facebook. Ooh, they on here? Oh yeah, dude. Scroll down.
Oh yeah, that's the photos that I thought you saw, like with the big old grin with a
I missed that.
tooth missing or replaced or something. I can't tell what's going on there. And when I try and click on the photo, it wants to take me to Facebook, and I don't want to go to. I don't want the Lost Coast Outpost to report my Facebook usage for this.
Yeah, this is no good for anybody to do that. I'm not doing that.
No.
Yeah, F that is what I say. All right.
Exactly.
That's going to be it for your news. Now, the one thing I haven't heard from is I don't know if Bill's still. I don't know where Bill is because he might still.
Right, because he
always hangs around there, right? Doesn't he?
He does at Dragon Con, yeah, which ended yesterday.
Yeah.
So, he's home. He says.
Oh, he's home.
Big smile. He's home. He's ready
in the
for
chat.
us.
Okay.
In
Oh,
the chat.
I should have checked yesterday because sometimes he'll stay and like collaborate. Stop. How's that song go? The Ice-T song.
He'll stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah, stop, collaborate, and listen. Something with some god dissing. How's that song go? I don't know how it goes. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't sing.
Ice is back with a brand new edition.
Oh shit! Look at you popping off the '80s awful rap. All right.
Ugh.
Hey, what's that guy's real name? I was making fun of him the other day and I couldn't think of his name. It's long.
Rob Van Winkle. I think.
Yeah, Rob Van Winkle. That's the worst. Sorry, no offense. But if you want to,
It's only a slightly dumber name than Vanilla Ice.
yeah,
Slightly.
like if you want to be a cool rapper person,
Yeah.
that's a dumb name. Super
Yeah.
dumb. All right.
I guess that's where you got the Van for Vanilla Ice, though,
Oh,
right?
oh, maybe I didn't think of that.
Yeah, the Vanilla. I mean, I know he's white too,
Sure.
which
Oh,
you
Taylor.
have to play that up if you're a rapper like Snow and
Sure.
Iced Tea Latte. Is there a?
Is there? Don't tell me there's
Is there
not.
a white rapper named? Come on, that'd be great, right? Iced Tea Latte.
The real Ice-T would sue probably.
Yeah, you would totally. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Cube. Ice Cube is my favorite of the Ice rappers.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, even in his dumb like family movies. I think he's great. Anyway, let's I was thinking of Anaconda for some reason because he's in that, isn't he? Wasn't he the cameraman in Anaconda?
Yes. Yeah.
He was good in that. Anyway,
J-Lo and
oh yeah, J-Lo's in that. Wait, J-Lo.
Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer John Voight.
Oh, John. Wait a minute. You said J-Lo and then you said Jennifer John Voight. Like you were.
Well, I was gonna say Jennifer Lopez, but I was trying to think of John Voight. I was trying to think of I can't think of John Voight's daughter's name.
Oh,
Like,
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the name I was trying to come up with, and it's like Jennifer. No, that's not it. Angela and I just said, oh, John Voight.
John Voight. And when he gets he gets barfed out of the snake and then winks. Remember
Puked
that?
at it and winks, and then gets re-eaten.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
so stupid, that movie. I kind of love it
Yeah.
though. All right, that's it
Oh,
for.
what did I see?
Oh, what?
What did I see that just got added? I know this is like we're talking film sack all of a sudden, but I saw something that had just gotten added to Netflix that I thought, oh my God, we need to add this to our list because it's
I'm into it. What is it?
I'm looking, I'm finding it. Have we done Dante's Peak?
No, we should do Dante's Peak.
Just got added to Netflix.
Ah, sweet. That's one of those things that came out a year that another movie just like it did. So Earthquake
Yeah,
and Dante's
Volcano.
Peak. Or
Yeah.
Volcano, right. Volcano and
Volcano,
that
yeah.
same year. It was like the Deep Impact and the Armageddon kind of thing for them. So
Yep.
yeah, I'd be all into that. That'd be great. Let's
So
put that on
I'm
the
gonna
list.
throw that on our list as soon as while we're listening to the song. I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw it on our list.
Yeah, the song that we listen to in real time.
Yeah,
Let's do that. Let's take a break for a song. What do you got for us this week?
I have for our Indie in the Middle an artist out of San Francisco. Speaking of that Northern California area, Matt Langlois. Matt Langlois, Langlois, when you're looking for him online. He is a singer-songwriter and a director of music at the Cali and Company Dance repertoire and creator of several long-running music projects that favor his first name, such as The Welcome Mat and Matt E.L. He's released 9 albums, 22 singles. He's worked with a bunch of Bay Area producers that have recorded with like Four Non Blondes, Dan the Oddmater, Train, Counting Crows, Foster the People, who we talked about earlier. He has a brand new album that just came out earlier this year. It's called Merde, M-E-R-D-E with an exclamation point. Here is the song from that album, one of the singles from that album, Making Me Feel Crazy.
Helen Lofton, a good-to-look-at girl with soft black hair and clear hazel eyes, who gets a big charge out of life. But Helen was a great girl.
Man, you guys are dumb.
The morning stream.
Where's that?
All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, a quick reminder, if you like the show and you want to support us, go to patreon.com/TMS. It's a great way to do it. It's a way to keep the lights on and keep us happy and keep the show happening every day, which keeps you happy. That's patreon.com/TMS. All right, let's get Bill in here. Bill Duran of Punish Props fame. And infamously just getting back from the land of sweaty nerds. And we're going to play this for him if I can find it. Where's Bill?
But Bill just isn't thinking about danger.
No, he's thinking about deodorant and showers. Bill, hello.
Yes. I took as many as 3 showers per day at Dragon Con.
Oh, my Lord.
Really?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Because it's so hot and muggy? Kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Every time I took a costume off because it was a mess under there.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes just changing out the stink bag isn't enough.
Oh,
No. You got to go start from scratch.
Yeah, I've had that stink bag in the house, remember? And it left an impression.
That's why Scott had to move.
Yeah, we had to move. No, it was in this house. And I was like, we can't move this soon. It's too much. Bill is back, of course, from Dragon Con is what we're referring to. And I followed your goings and havings while you were gone. But I'm curious about a little recap. How'd things go?
Yes. Well, I built a new set of armor. The original design I was talking about last week.
Yeah.
And that debuted at Dragon Con. But, of course, we made a video on the whole build because we're crazy people. We did all that. We did all of that in the last 2 weeks. So yay! So Bill's not going into work today. We have a full video up at punishprops.com if anyone wants to check it out. The build was sponsored by Plaid, and they were at Dragon Con, so we got to hang out with them, and we did a workshop with them, a painting demo. It was super fun. And then I got to run around in my new costume, which had lights and smokes in it. Or lights and smokes? Smoke?
Wow.
More than one smoke.
Fire up a cigarette?
Yeah, it's got some smokes in there.
Yeah, and it got a really great reception, which I wasn't, we designed it. I didn't know if people were going to think it was cool or not. Turns out if you put light and smoke in anything, people will think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is it real smoke or what do you have to use?
It's fog. It's vape stuff.
Oh, like vape. All right.
Vegetable glycerin is what I had in there.
I played bass for them for 2 years in the 90s. Vegetable glycerin. They were great. So wait a minute. I got a question, though, because I saw your stuff. I saw your getup. But your wife also was wearing something amazing. Was that also a new build, or was that something from before?
No, we brought our Fallout costumes. So I was the Mechanist, and Brittany was the Assaultron robot.
Right. Okay.
And there were two of them. There was another one at Dragon Con. That's one of my favorite things about Dragon Con is you'll see a ridiculously awesome costume, and then someone will say, "Oh yeah, there's like 5 of them here."
Oh man, if they touch, do they turn to? Is it bad? Is it like Time Cop, where you can't touch your doppelganger at Dragon Con?
I don't think so. There was some we would have had a problem with Endgame Thors.
Yeah, you gotta watch
there were a lot
those.
of them.
I'm sure lots of Lebowski Thors.
Yeah, a lot of Lebowski Thors.
I imagine that's probably the most popular one out there. Most popular.
Well, that's actually another question. Did you every year everyone says, "Oh, it's all Deadpools this year," or "It's all whatever's."
Yeah.
What was the most common this year that you saw?
I don't know the reference because I haven't seen the show yet, but the sailor outfit with the word ahoy on the hat.
Oh, Stranger Things.
Yeah, there were lots of those.
Oh,
lots of those.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
I wouldn't have called that. I would have still said. Well, there are probably still plenty of Deadpools, right? There's always a Deadpool.
Yeah, there were a few. That costume, that sailor costume, you can just buy. So I guess it was probably really easy to throw on.
Yeah. Do you scoff at people that do that? Do you look at them with disdain down your nose? Like, how do you feel about that?
Scott, do you think I look at anyone with disdain? Come on.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Who are you talking to?
Trying to dig up some controversy here. I can't find any with Bill. He's too nice.
No. What I love though, think about this: is someone might not be a cosplayer, and then they see this TV show and they're like, "Oh, my friend said you can buy that costume. Well, we're going to Dragon Con, so I'll buy it and throw it on, and it'll be really cool." And then they go to Dragon Con, and there's dozens of them, and they all become best friends. It's like that person's a cosplayer now, like because they bought this off-the-shelf thing and went to an event and had the time of their lives. It's like we've made another conversion, everyone.
Yeah,
we should all be happy.
You should all celebrate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's totally fine if it looks like Underoos this year. They'll grow into it.
Well, the thing is, the next year that same person will come back and they're like, "I made an Iron Man suit. I got the bug and I made a full Iron Man suit, and it works."
Yeah.
And then they fly away, and I'm like,
"That sounds about right." So this build, there has to be challenges. I'm sure there are people listening right now that are like, "Well, yeah, sure, I can copy an Iron Man design and then work on that and even give it my own spin." But if you're talking about something from scratch like this, the challenges sound kind of heavy to me. So what were the big challenges? And what did you do to overcome them, I guess?
Well, mostly just like making the proportions and everything look decent. You don't want the whole costume to be lopsided. You don't want to have like just big gaps where like one part of your costume is super detailed and another part's just like a flat color. Like you want it to be balanced across the whole thing. You want to make sure it'll look good at Dragon Con in a fairly dark environment. So that's why I covered it in lights.
Yeah.
And I think we pulled it off. So
I never heard anybody say that before. The environment's kind of dark. Like you can't what do you mean by dark?
It's not like BlizzCon. BlizzCon on the floor is super dark.
Yeah.
But at Dragon Con, it gets a little, especially in the evening. There's no daylight coming in. It gets a little bit dark.
Right.
In the Marriott atrium where we hang out. Yeah.
Oh right. I'm looking at the You have so many pieces to this. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of parts.
So
So
total time building this thing? What do you think?
I kept track of the hours. I can't remember though. I'd have to go check. But we started it like 2 weeks ago. So.
That's wow. All right.
Yeah.
Still fast by most standards, but
yeah,
that's impressive. And does this thing have its own stink bag now? Because it looks.
Actually, I don't even have it. I left the costume with Plaid, and it's their problem now. And I did not have a chance to wash it, so.
It's their problem.
Yeah. So Dragon Con. This was my 9th Dragon.
Oh, wow.
Con in a row. Yeah, and it continues to be magical.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, saw my Tuesday buddy Justin Robert Young and his wife Ashley.
Yeah.
We hung out. They're doing great.
Yeah.
We had a meetup for our Prop Tarts, which went super fun.
Yeah.
And we saw a ton of cool costumes. You guys want to hear about a couple?
Yeah, give me some.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, you probably heard about this one. I have a link for the chat to a Twitter post. But it was Atreyu from The Neverending Story and his horse Artax. Except the cosplayer only had the head of the horse, and it was lying on the ground, and he was crying like he was trying to save his horse from the swamp.
I heard about this. Heard about this from somebody.
That's hilarious. Seeing the GIF below.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Wow.
Look at that.
It's so smart, so clever. And it's, so this guy just wanders around with a horse head. Then every once in a while he throws it to the ground and starts screaming.
That's great.
It's so amazing.
That photo in particular is great because it feels like there are people just trying to get around him. Like
yeah,
they're just sort of
that's
like,
also
oh gosh.
that's also very Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. Like, dude, try to get to the bathroom.
Yeah, I gotta pee. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good one. It's kind of freaky too. That horse head is very realistic.
I know. What's cool is he can use that for a Godfather cosplay too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
Another one. So our friends at Plaid made one. They make Mod Podge, and they made a Mod Podge bottle costume. Another link in the chat there. That I tweeted that one out a few days ago. But it's a bottle of Mod Podge as a costume, like a mascot, and it's great.
The most common thing used for by cosplayers.
I love that. That's amazing.
I love it.
Look
That's
at the
great.
attention to detail on the like the way the colors and the wording and everything. That's really great. Is there always people always do that? Does anyone just show up as a piece of foam?
No, that's new. That's new.
All right.
But I wanted to say something like, isn't it weird how I scooped out your guts and covered them with my armor?
Nice.
Anyway, so there were so many good ones. There was a full-size Mondoshiwan from The Fifth Element.
Oh, man, we were just
gosh.
talking about how cool that... did you get a photo of that guy?
Yeah, I got one. I don't have it. It's on a camera somewhere, but yeah.
No worries. I can't wait to see that because that is... after watching Fifth Element again for Film Sack recently, just looking at those things, first thing I did was like, I got to find a 3D print of it. And 3D printed it and
I saw that floating around someplace. He's got a Lilu with him, or with it.
Oh yeah.
They're hanging out.
Lilus are easy to find at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
At least they were last time I was there.
Yeah.
There were a couple. I saw a couple.
Yeah. Which the
there was my buddy Ben did a costume skit sort of thing. They do the Independence Day. He's got a buddy looks just like Will Smith, standing there with a parachute that's got an alien in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben was next to him with a speaker playing the music from the speech at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's dressed as the president with a microphone reciting the entire Independence Day speech.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So he starts doing the thing. The music comes up. Everyone turns around like, what's going on? Just in the middle of the floor. He goes through the whole speech. At the end of it, everyone just erupts into applause. It was amazing.
Wow,
and he would do it like every 10 minutes, and then he would go to a different hotel and do it over there for a while.
Yeah. Did the Will Smith ever punch the alien in the head and say, "Welcome to Earth," just to be the big finish?
He probably did.
Dang. All right.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. So sounds like another good con under your belt. Well done.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So I put in the chat room a link to the Mondoshawan from
yes.
Dragon Con. But there's another great photo I'll also put in here from the same Instagram account where it's all the pieces stacked on the desk and chair at his Atlanta.
Oh my gosh,
hotel room.
that thing's
So,
huge.
Brian, you want to hear something crazy?
I do.
The one that you linked is
Yeah.
a different one at Dragon Con.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. So there were multiple Mondashawans in
More
at
than
Dragon
one.
Con. Wow.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Was the one that you saw more detailed as far as like this one's pretty simple as far as
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The second one that you linked is different. That's the one I saw.
Okay. Oh, and
Yep,
I'm seeing
yep.
that one now too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
and there's more detail on the arms.
yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Anyway,
Wow. Still, that's amazing.
Reminds me of your Chromie. Remember that year that Blizzard had a Chromie and you had a Chromie, and your Chromie was a way better Chromie.
Probius.
Yeah, or Probius. That's what I meant.
Probius.
Yeah.
What did I say? What did I say?
Chromie.
You said Chromie.
Oh, I meant not Chromie. F Chromie. I'm talking about Probius.
Jeez.
And yeah,
Oh, all of a
I don't
sudden
like-
he hates Chromie.
I don't like gnomes. Gnomes are the worst. But anyway, I remember at that event going, oh my gosh, Bill's Probius is 1,000 times better than this Probius. And I felt bad for saying it, but it was true. Your Probius was really good. Nice probe.
We were very proud of how that turned out.
Yeah, it turned out really good. All right, well, this is great.
And it lives at Blizzard HQ now, by the way.
I heard. Yeah, it's in the offices somewhere, right?
He gets around.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Did they ever send you pictures, like a quick little selfie with him to say, "Hey, he's still here"?
Yeah,
He's all
we
good?
got an update recently. It was great.
He's nice, and they don't do the waking up videos or anything like that, where it's like, oh, it's another day, and Chromie's bringing us donuts.
Yeah, yeah, or Probius,
Not
you mean?
Probius.
Now
Now
you're
I'm
doing it.
Probius.
Yeah, you're doing it. Actually, that should be Chromie's job. Bring me some freaking food and don't get sand in it, because you're like, she has sand powers. Anyway, hey, that's awesome. May we continue to get rad stuff out of Bill after he is so exhausted and can now recover from a long week of that. Any hints as to what's coming up soon? Anything cool on the horizon?
I have to finish my book. That's mostly. I have to take a lot of photos of
Photos
things.
and books and printing. That all sounds
Other
fun.
than that, I don't know what I'm building next. I have no idea. I
Well-
do have a very long after Dragon Con list of things I got to do.
Well, wind at your back, I say. And
All right.
I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one. Chinbeard on Twitter, everybody. You can follow him there, and you can also go to punchprops.com. We'll see you later.
Nice.
Bye now. All right, Brian.
Yes.
We're here now to continue down this path.
Please do. Let's.
Got to get
Why
Justin
not?
in, though. I don't know. Maybe he'll be here to say things. Actually, we got a fun thing to talk about. I talked to him last night. We got a
Oh, good.
not a fun thing, but more fun than hurricanes and shootings. I can tell you that.
Well, sure.
So we're gonna do
What
that
could
now.
be more fun than hurricanes and shootings?
I'll tell you what after this.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Check it out. It's Justin Robert Young, also back from Dragon Con and fresh off the O-Town boat or something. Hello, Justin. How are you?
O-Town boat.
I don't know.
Are you part of a boy band now from Orlando?
I don't know what that meant.
What is the O-Town boat?
I think
don't
you
know.
meant Austin, right? Like the Austin.
No, I don't know what I meant.
Oakland. I think he was talking
Yeah,
about.
maybe
Oakland.
Oakland. Maybe there's just words coming
I
out.
guess I do live in an O-Town.
Yeah, you do. By the way, your volume's super low. Can you give me a little cranky? There's a little something
Yeah,
there.
I can give you more.
Oh, I like that.
Boy,
Yeah.
don't ask Justin to get cranky.
Give me,
Jeez.
give me a
Is that better?
little bit more. A little bit more. I like that.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Check, check, check.
Oh, yeah, I like that. All right. Anyway, so yeah, you were there, and it seemed like you had a good time. I watched.
Riding my horse to the O-Town boat. I'm going to.
I watched a live stream ish sort of not live stream, live tweet of some pictures of you performing, and I couldn't really tell what you were doing. But I guess I would ask, just in general, how did all that go? Everything go good?
It was good. It was good. You know, it was definitely a different year because we didn't do a big night attack show. And this is the first time that I've actually been to Dragon Con without some version of that being kind of the staple of it. So it was a little odd.
Yeah.
But we had a great PX3 show that I wasn't allowed to call PX3 because they decided they weren't going to talk about politics at Dragon Con this year. So I had to call it Justin, which I hope I hoodwinked some of the McElroy fans to come see my show. But no, it was good. By and large, it was really fun. The big thing for me is I literally, it came at the end of a week and a half on the road because I was in Austin before that, and then August was a lot of cons. It was Gen Con, DEF Con, the comedy festival in Austin, and then Dragon Con, which is like That was intense. I don't know when I would want to do that again, but it was a lot, and I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, you can settle in a little bit and enjoy your fall and not feel so much like you got to be somewhere every 5 seconds. August is always that way for you, though, right? Like every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It got more like that. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is that I've always wanted to go to something like DEF CON because so many of my friends are there, and I got a chance to do it this year. But now I realize why I usually don't, because it comes in between a bunch of other stuff, and then we added the comedy festival in the center of that. But it wound up actually working out kind of to perfection. We had a great show, and it was a pretty fortuitous opportunity for me to be in Austin. For a couple other reasons.
Tom spoke very highly of the comedy festival thing and of your role in it. So there's been good word on this side that everything went really well there.
Oh, that show was great. And thank you to everybody who came out for that. I mean, that was not an easy ask to have people roll out on a Tuesday night for a comedy show, but you'll be able to see it live tonight. The replay of it. You'll be able to see everything that happened tonight because that is going to be the Night Attack show this evening on twitch.tv/Night Attack.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you can take a little time off. All right, so you and I spoke yesterday, and there's a lot of like politicky things going on right now, and there are also a lot of kind of gnarly things going on. By the way, everybody in the vicinity of that Dorian hurricane, anybody on your end of the woods, like your family, everybody okay? Everybody all right?
Yeah, it looks as if, I mean, I've been checking all the information, but it looks as if it's going to curve north, and so there'll be some tropical storm force winds and a lot of rain because it appears to have kind of stopped moving. But presuming that it does not take another unforeseen turn back toward the mainland, I think things are kind of north of my family, at least at this point. But certainly the coastal areas of Florida are really going to be affected. This is during like a really high tide period. So there's a lot of coastal areas that are going to see some flooding. But it looks as if, I mean, obviously the Bahamas got decimated.
Yeah. And didn't it kind of park on the Bahamas sort of and just sat there and just whipped the Bahamas over and over and over? Like,
it's not moving. It just kind of sat there and hammered it, which is like really, really dangerous when it's a storm of that capacity, because even places that are used to, I mean, look, Florida's used to catching hurricanes on a regular basis. They can recover fairly fast. They know the evacuation routes. Some of those Caribbean islands, they get them more often than Florida does. And so even considering the fact that the Bahamas is used to catching these hurricanes, they know how to deal with them. That's something that's hard because you are in a prolonged state of a very, very violent storm.
Yeah. Well, that's a good lead into what we want to talk about today, because you are of the opinion, and I see that there are many who share this opinion, that CNN is terrible at reporting storm stuff and updates, and it's just bad. And I'd like to know why you think that's the case. What are they doing wrong? It seems like they have resources. Seems like they should have the right people. They should be able to do a better job. And I've noticed just a few things online, and then talking to you last night, seems like you're of the opinion that they may be kind of the worst ever at this.
They're not only bad, they're embarrassing, and they're actively misinforming people on life or death decisions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, these are... Look, I have long criticized 24-hour cable news. I don't think that it is meant to inform. I think that it is news-flavored entertainment. So we will begin my excoriation of them at that level. I don't really think that there's much that we should expect from them. That being said, if there is an element of cable news that I do think is important, it is bringing to a mass audience things that have happened. There is a shooting, there's a disaster, there's a moment in history that is being that has already taken place, then they can bring you analysis and discussion and pictures and video of that thing. A hurricane's not that. A hurricane, relative to other natural disasters, is not a thing that happens and then you cover. It's a thing that you spend a lot more time covering than really any expected result. If you really added up all the hours of coverage that normally happen for a hurricane compared to the amount of times that hurricanes actually hit or do the kind of damage that they are giving that sort of coverage to, it's probably fairly little.
Yeah.
And that's by design, right? You want to make sure that everybody is prepared in case. So if that's really what you want to do, then in my opinion, a hurricane coverage should do the following things. Number one, update on the latest models. Number two, clarify for those who have not grown up watching these models exactly what this means, and make them understand that, like, look, in a hurricane, you have a couple decision gates. At the, when it's kind of the cone is sort of headed toward you, then you should probably make the decision, do I want to get out?
Right.
Is it better for me and my family and my property or whatever for me to leave early? Because that's a decision that you're going to have to make a couple days before, just based on gas and how, if you're going to try and fly with like air travel and stuff like that, you should probably make that decision a couple days before it is scheduled to hit and understand that you might be wrong. Number two, when you are 24 hours out, that's when you really have to start making the decision of like, okay, well, is this something where I'm just boarding up my house? Is it something where I'm making sure that I'm hunkered down for a couple days because there's not going to be power? These are the things that you need to be focusing on. You need to have increasingly sweaty live shots from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Like, that's what you need. Here's what you don't. An animated graphic that purports to show by visual evidence a live measuring of how fast this hurricane wind is going. Like, the asinine element of that is just, to me, it is vulgar and disgusting. It is there to terrify people live, because they don't have a live measuring. Like, whenever it spikes really far and it goes from like 189 miles per hour to like 217, like, that is just there. It is just a growling dog. They might as well just have the sound of a growling dog in the background that periodically just barks. So it terrifies you and your children. Right, Doctor?
So,
like, it is awful and disgusting. And also just, yeah, and this is, I partly got triggered by this because I've been on the road. So I've spent a disproportionate amount of time watching CNN without sound in either airports or hotel bars.
Sure.
So I have just, the idea of like even the language of turning north could decimate Georgia, could decimate the Carolinas. It's like, it is just vile. It is just something that they don't, because by the way, it's a Category 5 hurricane that might hit America. You don't need to make an ass out of yourself to have this be news. This is gonna be news.
Yeah.
You don't have, I mean, like, the fact that they have those graphics at all, that somebody's like, do we need it? Can we just say the current speed of the hurricane every once in a while? That this speed, just so everybody understands, you should understand that this is a dangerous storm. Because believe me, I have known plenty, coastal Floridians specifically are insanely stupid when it comes to believing that they can survive any hurricane. Like,
Right.
they are all Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump. Like, they just want that moment where they are going to they're going to defy God and they're going to beat this storm. You should need to show how fast these things are going so you can understand that this is a problem. But you don't need to do it constantly. You don't need to terrify people, because again, these are life and death decisions. Like, this is about people's property and lives. And unlike something that has already happened, and you can be ghoulish and weird and vultures on news like that, but you want to know what? It did happen and they have to fill time. Here you could be actively putting people in harm's way. You could be actively making them irrational and making bad decisions in the lead up to something that is very, very, very serious. I've just been disgusted and appalled.
Wow, this is hardcore. So
yeah.
So am I wrong to long for a day? I don't even remember. I'll explain. So my parents, when they would get their news, the way it worked was at like 5 p.m. What was his name? Everyone loved him. Anyway, that guy.
Willard Scott?
No, news guy. Not the weather guy.
Oh, news guy.
Walter Cronkite.
Oh, Cronkite, okay.
Yeah, Cronkite would get up at like 5 p.m. and he would get on TV and he would sit down and he would have an hour, and he would have that hour to explain everything that's going on, from what happened today at the White House, what's going on in that war in the Caribbean, or whatever it was, the war in the Caribbean, wherever it was, and they would just he would have this this capsule of time where we had to express the facts and then move on with your day, and everybody would get their prime time back, and you only would bust in if you needed to do something. I have always been under the sneaking suspicion, aka impression, and or probably obvious thought pattern, that 24 hours is a lot to fill with stuff, and that it was never going to be sustainable unless you planned to fill it with garbage and sort of extreme coverage, or blow stuff out of proportion, or cover stuff that is just stupid and not worth covering, and that all of the good stuff, the things that really mattered, you could sum up in that Cronkite hour. And now we have 3 big stations plus a whole bunch of little fringy ones that are all trying to do this 24-hour thing, and that's bad. That it's been bad, that it is bad, it will continue to be a bad thing. Am I wrong to think that? Or what do you think about that? Is that part of this problem of this hurricane coverage?
So, yes and no. I don't think that the Weather Channel is doing a bad job. I think that the Weather Channel, look, they paid for a bunch of fancy graphics that they like to show off, and that's a little unnecessary, but I don't think that they're being irresponsible. I don't think that that's all they do. CNN had other stuff that they could talk about this weekend, and they did. And then they periodically went back to this thing. So I don't think that it's impossible in this particular example, for you to not just show your whole butt and be awful the entire time, right?
Yeah.
I think that Weather Channel does a fine job doing it. In general, I disagree with the idea that the Walter Cronkite model is good, because I think that when you had 2 or 3 people doing the news the entire time, that leaves you at a tremendous the ability for 3 or 4 people to totally shape an entire truth for a nation is larger, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that I would rather more people discussing the news than less people. Do I think that 24-hour news networks are news? No, they're not. Again, they're news-flavored entertainment. They're information-flavored entertainment. I think that the morning stream does a more responsible job of passing along the news of the day than CNN does.
Oh, God.
I think that they should be looked at similarly.
Yeah.
Don't set us up for that kind of accolade.
I'm fine with
Too far down to fall.
Yeah.
I just, and that's why in general I try to not take them as seriously. But when we're talking about something that is right now, and I understand that for many politics is life or death, this is a Category 5 a weather system that has already killed and will continue to kill, and if we need to tone it down just a little bit, just a little bit of responsibility with this kind of stuff, it would just make me happier. And I just wanted to point out that is something that I hate greatly.
We have a listener who works at CNBC, and I talk to him all the time just about various stuff, media type stuff, and I'd be very curious his take on this, because while CNBC is focused as a cable network on mostly financial stuff, like following the markets and what Jim Cramer's going to run around and push buttons for and all that kind of thing, I'd be curious what his take is on this, because they all have to fuel this monster, right? They all have to come up with 24 hours of programming
Content.
Actually, I don't know if CNBC does that or not. If maybe they have a different programming at night. I don't know how they work, because I haven't watched it in 1,000 years. But
I think CNBC will periodically run reruns of NBC owned stuff. I feel like I've been at the gym at some times and Deal or No Deal is on it, just to fill. But then again, they're primarily a market and investment based thing. They have a thing to cover every day that is must watch television for people that are involved in that. I have nothing personally against the idea of 24-hour television. Although a friend of mine who used to work at I will leave unnamed 24-hour news network. Actually, no, I think he said it on his podcast. So it was Andrew Heaton. Andrew Heaton used to work at Fox Business Channel.
Yeah.
And he was like, you never really get the chance to say, hey, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Go out and enjoy the sun. It's like a late August day. News doesn't really happen this time of year. Like we just, whatever, just go do it. You can't do that. Like it is a very daunting, what you would call in the business a news hole.
Yeah.
Like you need to fill that hole with news every single day. And I think some people do it responsibly and some people do it good and some people do it bad. I think that there's another, I would like to separate this from the conversation of like, okay, is us talking about it for 24 hours. If we, have a news station and then people are talking about the news for 24 hours, is that good or bad? Because I do think that at a certain level, we owe it to ourselves to be able to turn off the television when we've had enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it's the existence of bars does not make alcoholics.
Right.
And if we were to take them away, I don't think that there would be less drinking. Like, I think that we would have what we had with Prohibition. So I don't mind that they exist. I think that they can be rightly criticized when they are doing wrong, which I would like to do here. But in general, I am steadfastly under the idea that I would rather have more people reporting the news than us.
Yeah, and have us be more discerning. I think that's a good thing. Here's the question I would ask your friend, though, that worked at Fox Business. Does every room that Lou Dobbs was in, does it have a smell now that he's been in there? Like if he
that
leaves,
I do not know.
Okay, that's a big. So when you talk to him again, just say, does the Lou Dobbs stink stay, or is it only when he's in the room and when he leaves? Is it okay? Does it clear out? Can you Febreze that shit?
Are there windows? Are there windows in each of the rooms that Lou Dobbs goes into?
Right. Oh, Lou Dobbs. I hate him so much. I hate him. If you couldn't tell, I was making a jab at a guy I really dislike. Anyway, that's great.
Yeah.
He just looks like he smells.
Find people that you don't like is mystifying because I follow this stuff for a living, and you will regularly name people that I'm unfamiliar with. Like I know who Lou Dobbs is, but I can't remember the last take that I read it. I'm like, oh man, that Lou Dobbs is really firing on all cylinders.
Well, he's always getting quoted by Trump, and he's super Trumpy, like hardcore Trumpy, and his show, which is supposed to be a business show, is not that. It's just a Trump show, and that's fine. They can do whatever they want, but he just looks like the kind of guy, and this is more of a me thing, regardless of his job or what he does or his allegiances or any of that, he looks like the kind of guy that would just gas up a room, just really reek it up. That's all. It's just purely an observation. I don't look at other people that look like Lou Dobbs and think that, but for some reason I look at Lou Dobbs and I go, sour milk breath, freaking injected a hot fart in that chair. He's got like sticky kimchi fingers, like that guy.
There's also no doubt that you look at other people that look like Lou Dobbs and think that of them. There's zero chance that you've drawn a circle around only him. So just so you know, if you bear any passing resemblance to Lou Dobbs, this is what Scott thinks about you.
What does Mitch McConnell smell like, Scott?
I know. He smells like the He smells like the like the lizard, the part of the zoo that has lizards in it.
The reptiles out of
the reptile part of the zoo. You know that smell, like a smelly snake smell. It's like a stinky, kind of weird, dank, kind of swampy smell. That's what I get out of him, for sure. Anyway,
I mean, again, you are a connoisseur. You're like you have like a Disney annual pass holder to people that annoy you and you hate. You love it. You love it so much.
I don't love
it. How much time during your day do you go out of your way to find people that get your goat?
Here's the thing. It's not even about people I don't like. It's like, I've said this on the show before. I really like Jennifer Aniston. I think she's a good actress, and I really liked her. She was one of the best things on Friends, and she's had a great career since. For a reason. She's really good. But I cannot get it out of my head that she has sour milk breath. Just can't. And I don't know why. It's just a thing in my head. This is not me hating on people, though. I'll see it from some people I really like, and I immediately have a reminder of
all right, here, look, we can do the people that think that have sour milk breath conversation, but do not lie to me and say that you do not spend a portion of your day talking about and thinking about and looking at and obsessing over people that annoy you, specifically when it comes to politics. I had to mute one of your Twitter accounts because of it.
Well, yeah, you should mute that account. That's my vent. I go out there, and that's just where I just shit out the back of the truck.
But I'm saying, you can't have, it's garbage in, garbage out. Like, you're not just doing it, you don't just wake up sit up like from a nap like the Undertaker and just start firing stuff out because you didn't read something on Twitter. Like you're reading stuff on Twitter and then getting worked up and then writing on that account.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's better that I do it there than on my main account. I don't want to piss everybody off and alienate the world.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it wherever you want. I'm just saying that there's only one you. You're not a different person. like there's still you only have 24 hours in a day. I'm just saying that at least 6 of them are spent winding yourself up on Twitter.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is I have, apart from politics, apart from people annoying me, or apart from people who piss me off, there is a thing I do when I see somebody. I immediately think of all the ways I start thinking of stuff like that guy's got really bad BO. I haven't even gotten near him yet, but I know he's got horrible BO. Or that lady, if I was to look in her ear, has enough hair and earwax to give me nightmares or something like that. I don't know why my brain does this, but I go there.
No. I think that to me, that is your artistic brain. Like you are always thinking, and I think it's what makes you a good artist is that you are always thinking of the story behind the image. And that creates that is like the difference. If I were to really get into the heady art talk or whatever, I think that kind of stuff is the difference between somebody who's just drawing and somebody who's telling a story with their images.
Right.
Because you are not just drawing a dragon, you're drawing a friendly dragon, a stinky dragon, a lying dragon that's telling the truth. Like that's what makes good at what it is. And part of that is like your brain just operates like that. Your brain is like, oh, they probably don't tip.
Yeah.
They smell. They could probably do a backflip.
Yeah. And JC Calhoun in the chat says this is called judging people. I don't know if I'm judging them. I know that this is all in my own head. So I'm not actually saying that Jennifer Aniston has horrible milk breath. I just have this thing in my head. I can't help it. I think if I actually met her,
it is. I don't know. I guess it's like to parse. We all judge people. Like we are pattern recognizing creatures. We are all assuming something about somebody else. But I would say if you were to have the opportunity to get near Jennifer Aniston, you probably want to see whether or not her breath is good.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably minty fresh and perfect in every way. Like, I don't know. But I just have this thing. And it's not a thing that keeps me from interacting with them, or hell, if I saw Lou Dobbs in a parking lot, I might shake his hand and say, I don't get why you're so hardcore Trump on your show or something. Like, I'd actually communicate with the guy. It's not that. It's just that in my head.
You would shake his hand, say pleasure to meet you, and then inhale sharply. Just to see whether or not
you could have a story for sure. Yeah.
I'd nestle up in his neck and just go.
Can I ask you a question? Because a lot of these are smell related, and I've noticed that you talk about or think about smells a lot. Like, do you have a very sharp sense of smell?
I do. I have a very strong sense of smell. Yeah. And I associate smells very strongly with experiences or stuff like that. If like yesterday, Kim opened a bottle of witch hazel, which I'd never smelled before. But it turns out hospitals use it for certain things. It's an astringent, and if you use it with baby stuff, it's better than alcohol, basically. Anyway, I don't know all the ins and outs, but she opened it up and she goes, smell this. And I smelled it. And immediately I'm in a hospital. Like it brings all the visuals and the memories and the whatever of every time I've been in a hospital.
Well,
it just smells like it.
They say that the sense of smell is the thing that triggers the most memories more than sight or hearing or taste or any of those other senses. That you're much more likely to recognize a previous instance of a smell than you are those other things.
Yeah. I get I just get I get those impressions from smell more than maybe, but also visual stuff, and sound is a big deal for me.
I got an email from a listener on the Jury Daily Show who said he had to go. He told this story about how he went to go get coffee at a 7-Eleven and got into a fight with some lady. And I'm like, dude, you need to get a coffee maker because that's a ridiculous thing. And he's like, I can't because my wife will wake up if I'm making coffee in the house, even if it's not near her. Her sense of smell is so keen that it will wake her up in out of a dead sleep in the morning. And so she wants to sleep. And so now he can't make coffee in the morning, and that was
wow,
some like Wolverine level stuff.
Yeah,
that
that's
I've never
hardcore.
heard of in my entire
Well,
life.
that's my sounds like my wife. She can smell a dirty dish rag from 8 houses over. Like she'll walk into
Yeah.
a place and go,
Wow.
"Do you smell that?" I'm like, "No." There's a something here. So she has like super strength smell-o-vision, but for whatever reason, it's just a thing. I can't help but do it. I can't help but associate it. And there's a certain kind of like garlic that brings me immediately back to this guy my dad used to have working for him that was a close talker and smelled like this garlic. And so any kind of garlic smell, I immediately think of that guy. His name was like Bud or something. And I just think of that guy. It's just my thing.
Yeah.
So I can't explain it. It's weird. It's just a thing I do. And I also think it's funny sometimes. In the Lou Dobbs case, it's mostly about I think it'd be funny if that guy just stunk up every room he was in.
I will say this: the first time I ever was in Atlanta was for a middle school trip that we took, and we went to the CNN building. It was also during Freaknik, which is I'm very excited that as a middle schooler, I got to go to Freaknik when that was still happening in Atlanta. But we went to the CNN building, and it was headline news, and there was like part of the tour that you got to see the lady just doing. At that point, headline news was literally just a lady one shot reading the news over and over and over again, but you were in that chair for hours. And this might be something that has grown larger and larger in my memory, but I remember it as if it were yesterday, that she reads the news. It's professional, the same way that you would see it on television. I was amazed that like, oh look, it's a real person. It's not a magical creature that's behind this glass. She reads the news, stops. And then again, memory might have gotten away from the truth at this point, but I remember her burping and farting in such violent percussion that I was like, oh my God, this is just what happens because they can't leave the chair for hours. They can't just be like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. And she just went, and was like, and her face was like as if she were still locked in. Like this was like fourth quarter Joe Montana driving. Like she was like still in. It was just gas that needed to get out.
Wow.
Like tap, 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 and back.
That's
like
amazing.
She was right back on it.
I love that story.
That's awesome.
Yeah. See, I'm also prone to stories like that. I just like it. I like a story that's slightly embarrassing. It's the human condition. We all just sort of
humanizes. Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Humanizes
I've
people.
wound up talking to television anchors since then, and I've always told them that story. I'm like, dude, like when you guys are at commercial, you're just ripping farts. Everybody understands that it's like cool. It's just part of the game.
Yeah.
Like you could just cut like a violent gasser, and everyone just has to understand it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, wow. Maybe I made it up.
They're liars.
They are lying. They have to once in a while. You know they do. They have to.
Yeah.
Nobody can plug that up. Especially if you're a 24-hour news network and you're freaking Wolf Blitzer, you know that
And
guy's
you're in that
cracking
chair.
them off.
Like I sit in a meeting with a client for like 20 minutes, and I feel like it's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick, or I've got to take this call. Step on the hallway.
Come back in.
Yeah.
That's just life, man. I don't believe them when they say that. Well, this has been educational for sure. I hope nobody in your I hope nobody in general gets hurt. But this storm's gnarly, and it's good to know your family's out of immediate harm's way, and hopefully that stays the same.
I mean, look, it's going really slow, but nobody I know, none of my family is necessarily right on the coast, which is I think what's going to get the most rain. But so far, it looks like they're getting like tropical storm to like possibly like Category 1 level sort of gusts, even on the coast. So
it's a lot.
We will see. I hope that it continues to go north. Who I really really needs to focus on it now are the people on the coastal Carolinas and Georgia and stuff like that. But we will continue to monitor it. I would encourage everybody download the National Hurricane Center app. It's like $1.99, but it just gives you the straight dope. Just the cones, the spaghetti models, like all the stuff that you, if you are like following these kinds of things, there are things that even though I have not lived in Florida full time in a few years now, that I just routinely focus on, and that is for whatever reason, whenever Florida college football teams play, despite the fact that I have no rooting interest, I just like the Swallows to Capistrano. I just need to find myself in front of a television watching it. And hurricane season. I'm watching from when they first form off the coast of Africa to where they die somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. I know all their moves. I know how they go. But that's why it's like it just something triggered me with the scene.
Did you see the Florida guy video that was floating around where the guy was saying the Air Force should just have a bunch of planes go out in front of it and go the other way? Did you hear that guy? That guy's great.
Like Superman spinning the Earth in the other direction, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Scott, I have not heard the clip you're talking about, but I will assure you that I've heard various live Florida men tell me that kind of stuff in bars my entire life.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's good to know. That's not a new.
Oh God!
New thing.
I mean, come on. It's all you think about is hurricanes at a certain point, and this is right now the high point. Until like the middle of the month, this is the big moment, which is why it's like it's almost good that we're only into the D's at this point. It means that we haven't had a very active early hurricane scene.
That's true. This year feels like this one seemed to get real big real fast and scary real quick. It seems like overall though it's better than like last year in terms of a number of these occurring events, and there may be more, but I remember there were 2 or 3 forming at once and then one dissipated, and I can't remember how it went last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is again, it's like there is a certain cadence when you're watching it all the time. If you're watching local news in South Florida or Central Florida, then you are watching like it is like big news the second they form off the coast of Africa, and you watch them kind of go. My stepdad, and I'm sure he still does, there's like the hurricane season like spread that you would get in the newspaper, and he would just keep this tattered piece of paper that would just get stuff spilled on it, and he would just chart out as if he was like keeping score in like a baseball game of every little storm. It was like on a grid that you were able to like kind of like keep track of literally everything that came off the coast. I don't know why. Like I don't like he never like framed him or anything. He just threw him out at the end of the season, but he just needed to know all of the storms that happened. So when you're watching it that close, you notice certain cadences to like, okay, well, this is a big hurricane season. You're seeing a lot of tropical storms, a lot of depressions that are doing it early. Some are later. There's actually some fascinating science on exactly like that. There's 50-year cycles to hurricane frequency, hurricane season frequency.
Yeah.
And I will say this, no matter what, even if I criticize CNN, it is very, very good that we have as much information on hurricanes as possible. There was someone might be able to find it, but it was like in the 30s or the 40s, there was a awful disaster where people thought hurricane season was like over on Labor Day. And just because there was less communication and there was less science on it. Like, it was an absolute disaster.
Wow.
In South Florida.
And I'm
3 little pigs opening up their straw house saying, all right, beautiful day.
Yeah. It's like the
no big bad wolf to worry about today.
It's like the groundhog deal. People believe it back then.
Oh my God. Did I nail it? Was it Labor Day in 1935, says Sidon?
It might have been. Galveston? Is that it?
No, it was South Florida. It was somewhere in Florida because it's like famous in Florida as like why you pay attention to hurricane season like a maniac.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be like Labor Day where everybody was just like, hey, it's a picnic.
Wow.
Man, this is a really nice weekend. I wonder what's
still
happening.
Used as a
where are all the birds?
Yeah, where are all the birds? What happened to the birds? Yeah, hit Florida Keys, 185 mile per hour winds, and caught them all kind of by surprise. Yeah, we live in a time where you can get more info than that, thankfully. And don't fly planes into it. That Florida guy was wrong. All right, Justin, Robert.
Unless your hunt's the wind.
Yes, unless your hunt's the wind, then sure. We should get him on here, see how it's going.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, yeah.
Anything else you want to mention for this week? You mentioned the show tonight will be a repeat of your glorious comedy show last week. Anything else going on?
Well, I'm back in my studio, which means right after this, you can head on over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Justin R. Young. I'm going to be streaming. We had a lot to talk about. We'll do our live drawing for who is winning. As these candidates drop out, Scott, I got so many. I got so much swag from the Iowa State Fair, including signs for almost every candidate. So now as they drop out, I am doing a giveaway for all the swag. So the Hickenlooper swag, We're going to do the live drawing right here on my Twitch channel in a couple of minutes. And then we will begin the Gillibrand giveaway because the campaign Undertaker has reaped her campaign soul as well. And we might see a few more coming up and the swag will flow.
Yeah.
So there's just 10 left, and but Gardner is going to stay in even though he didn't make the cut, even though he's not
There's
able
more
to,
than 10 left.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, 10 made the debate, which means it will only
That's what
be
it
one
is, yeah.
night. Now, more might make the debate for the next one because debates 3 and 4 have the same qualifying threshold, which means people
they
that
got
were on
more
the bubble,
time.
like Tom Steyer, might make it. Tulsi Gabbard might make it. But other than that, I'd be shocked if we saw more than 12 for the 4th debate, which would bump it back up to 2 nights. As for some of these candidates, the real question is going to become, what are you doing, buddy? Bill de Blasio, what's the haps, dude? Like, Bennett, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, Hickenlooper has now run for Senate. So he is out of the presidential race. He's in the Senate race. He had a hilarious ad where he decided to actually shoot a trick shot in billiards as a way of showing that he should be in the Senate.
Yeah, that's the Wincoop Brewery, which is his brewery that he owns over here. Nice place to go to, but yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he's really good at pool, and
Yeah,
he'll let you
right.
know that when you watch his campaign ad.
Yeah, vote for me. I'm good at pool.
And then Inslee is now running for governor of Washington again.
Oh, I said Cory Gardner. I meant Bennett. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but Bennett's still in. Bennett's hanging in.
Not going to be in the debate, but he's still running. Good luck with that.
Well, and a lot of them are like, hey, look, I just want to make it to Iowa, which traditionally would be how you do it. I have a whole rant on how the debate system needs to be changed, but we'll get to that in another day.
Yeah, and we'll hear about that on PX3. So check it out. Justin R. Young on Twitter. Have a good one. Stay out of trouble. And we'll see you next time. Bye now. I never think about how he smells. He smells great.
Oh yeah, it smells like sandalwood and whiskey.
Yeah, just a good smelling man, that Justin Robert Young. Never known him to be reeky. Oh, we have a bot. That's fantastic. Let's see.
We have a bot. Kill the bot. Kill the bot.
They've been banned. Goodbye forever.
Wow.
All right. Let's move on here. Oh, I meant to ask him. He had family or his dad or somebody lived in Taylorsville here in West Valley. We've talked about it before. Anyway, there's big fires out there, and I'm a little nervous about all that.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Got
Wow.
gnarly fires just northeast or northwest of me. Anyway, let's...
Are you guys getting the smoke or like the bad air because of that?
No, not yet. If we do... And the valley's staying relatively clear, which is unusual. Usually when there's a lot of bad fires, the worst thing that happens is the whole valley gets like this haze in it. But we haven't had it too bad, so I don't know if the wind's helping us or how it's going, but it's going okay. All right. I believe we have a mashup that we would normally have played yesterday, but there was no show yesterday. And so today we do it.
Gotta do it today. That's the rule.
Yep. This is called, we'll call it the Tuesday mashup. It's called the Zune Squirts. And I'll play it for you now. Here you go.
Yo, 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 yo.
Whoa, yo, Frizzy Skizzy. Brian in the hizzy.
In the hizzy.
In the his house.
Lay that steak on my face. I'm ready.
I don't have my uterus anymore.
There's no uterus from a vagina.
Brian likes cocks. I got it. That's good. Was Dick on there? No Dick.
No Dick.
He told the dull narcissus
Alarnus Tidningar. Tidningar.
Yeah.
Use the science, Jesse. Use the science.
That would be amazing.
No half measures.
If you're interested in her nipples, she's naked in.
If you're interested in her nipples,
she was naked. She was semi-naked in that 300 movie. Is my memory of that.
Let me squirt you a copy of "Come and Get Your Love" from my Zune.
Oh, squirting! I forgot they did that.
Yeah, Zune squirts.
Oh, that was so stupid. Zune squirt.
Post me whole schedule.
I'm gonna post my whole schedule. I'm gonna listen to Post Malone.
Post Malone. Yar. Popping pillies. Licking ears and eating shit. Wait, I'm sorry. It's what chips?
That's a different thing. That's a very different show.
One day it's infected, next day blood vomit. We just measure our wieners in inches because it sounds better.
It's 322 millimeters.
It sounds so clinical and less manly to say it that way. That makes me want to peel a scab off and eat it. I don't like that line.
Put it on me.
Put it on me. Put on me. Like this.
Put me on.
Put on me.
I'll be gone.
Put it on me.
Oh, fabulous.
That's good stuff.
Fabulous.
That's good stuff. Oh, man.
Wow.
I don't remember most of that. I don't remember saying most of that. Some of it. I remember the squirts and the Zune and that, but that's it.
Yeah.
No memory. I mean, maybe those are old clips. He does that to us sometimes. Like some of that was a core clip from this week with John in there.
Right.
And
with
so
John,
you never
he
know.
did the licking ears and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so you never know what's happening. They remember the singing. I do too, Jeannie, but I don't remember how long ago that was. But was that last week? We were talking about Aha? Maybe we were. I don't know. Doesn't matter. What matters is we've done yet another show. Thank you all for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was going to play a phone call.
I want to hear a call. Yeah, let's hear that call. Is it
All
quick?
right.
I don't care if it's quick or not.
It's sort of quick. It's 30 seconds.
I don't care. We'll just do it.
Here it is.
Whatever.
I forgot the name, but I'll play it. Here you go.
Hey, Scott and Brian. I'm calling for TMS. Longtime fan. Real quick, I'm 22. I've been listening since I got an iPod back in the ELR days. But anyway, this is the first time I've been compelled to call in a long time. They're joking about Naruto running into Area 51. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a big meme. That's all I wanted to let you guys know. Love the show though. Keep it up.
Okay, I don't think we thought or said that.
We never thought that it
serious.
wasn't a joke, but I think we said that there are people who don't think this is a joke and
Right.
are planning on doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the point. Is not everyone thinks it's a joke or knows it's a joke.
Yeah.
Which is where things could get a little bit screwy. But actually, now that we talk about it, I don't know how that turned out. Is it done?
It hasn't turned out yet. It's supposed to be on the 20th.
Okay, so they
of
even
this
have
month.
any? I've never really truly understood what was going on. Were they like there and waiting? Were they going to plan a date? Apparently, they did. So the 20-something,
Yeah.
they're going to go, and then we'll find out how this all goes. Whatever they're going to do.
The Storm Area 51, they can't stop all of us, which is now, I use that phrase for everything. When it was the grasshoppers in Vegas,
Yep.
they can't stop Storm Vegas. They can't stop all of us.
That's right.
Or we were crossing the street against the light in downtown Denver this last weekend. I said, let's do it. They can't stop all of us.
That's right. I like it. They could be used for everything. Amish Overlord in the chat says they're having a festival instead. Is that true? Is that happening?
So yeah, I think there are people who are like they're doing a music festival.
That makes sense. They do that stuff in the Nevada desert all the time. Why not?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other. Oh, and it was Garrett online says, "What would it take for us to get you to Burning Man one year?" And my answer to that was clean toilets. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
Give me some clean toilets.
You'd have to go in your own vehicle in which you could sleep.
Yeah.
You could poop.
Yep.
And you could get away from things
Yep.
and escape for a little while.
And then I'm in on your bad idea.
That's what it would take for me too.
Yep.
Alien Stock, by the way, is what's happening in Rachel, Nevada from September 9th to September 22nd. And it's going to be a music and arts festival that is happening outside of Area 51.
Nice. Well, that's excellent news. Good
But
luck
if you're
to
in
you
the
all.
Vegas area, much better to attend. Let me make sure I get the right date. It is the Life is Shit Festival, which is the opposite of the Life is Beautiful Festival.
Mm-hmm.
No word if there are pizza is shit t-shirts that can be stolen. I'm sorry, given to us by Rob from marketing.
Yeah, given to us.
That's
not
happening
stolen.
Saturday, September 21st, 4 p.m. Big festival that happens at the Dive Bar every year. James and Svet are involved with this thing, and it's going to be awesome.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I love hearing about what those guys are doing. What's his? Does he have to do anything every day now that he's a council person? What does he do?
Not every day, but he has to keep up with local events and ordinances and things like that. And then every 3 Tuesdays, they actually have a session that he needs to be there and attend for, people to. It's basically what I picture is the Parks and Recreation open the town hall where Patton Oswalt gets up there and talks about Empire Strikes Back for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds like it's totally right. Okay, now I need you to help me with this little scenario. Let's just say that there's a guy, he's been on his land forever, he's old, he's 85, and they need to turn that land into a public park. It needs to be a dog park. And James has been saddled with the responsibility to go to that guy and tell him to move so that they can make this dog park there. You need to finally sell us your land, sir, sort of thing. Could you please do James asking this man for this land?
Oh, all right. Well, so, you like dogs. We all like dogs, right? So, it's all good. It's all good. We gotta just kind of make room for this new dog park. It's all right.
It's perfect. For those that don't know James, I cry for you. I weep for you.
Because it's the one impersonation I haven't stolen from Saturday Night Live,
and
right?
It's dead on. It's so dead on. 100% dead on.
In front of him when we were in Vegas this earlier or last month.
Oh my gosh!
Kind of did it in front of him, just saying, "Here's what I imagine those town hall meetings are like."
Oh yeah, so you can't really put that fence over across that area.
Yeah, I actually got from him.
Yeah.
A very, very hard to get item, but this is the Boulder City, Nevada, home of Hoover Dam pin, the official pin.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
oh, that's
this
cool.
is.
I love the Hoover Dam.
Yeah,
I
mean, you can't really see it probably because it probably gets blurry, but
Hoover Dam's responsible for a lot of my I love deserts, I love post-apocalyptic stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Hoover Dam is?
Yeah, because when I was a kid, that was just the most magical structure. Like I just back, and then set in the desert like that, and the sunset and the red rock everywhere, and this thing just built out of nowhere seemingly, and it just, I don't know, there's something about that just feeds into all my other fandoms. It's weird.
Yeah.
Hoover in particular, because I went there as a kid a bunch of times.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, cool.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. You should have that pin. And it's uncanny. If you guys met James, you'd go, oh, now I get it. It's uncanny. Like, you could fake it. If he died, you could fake it. You could be the councilman. Just call in everything. Just do the voice. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I could be a proxy. Just show up with, a wig with more hair and a mustache and
it's
a loud
really
shirt.
It's really something. All right. Hey, everybody looking for everything, go to frogpants.com/TMS. Everything is there. We're going to take our leave now and do so with a song to take us out. Brian, what do you got over there?
A song for Jim in South Carolina. Jim, I hope you're staying safe and things don't go poorly for you with the whole Dorian thing. Jim says, hey, Scott and Brian, turning 44 this year. I don't have anything funny or insightful to say. Just hope you'd play a cover of any Aerosmith song. Love the show, Jim in South Carolina. Easy enough. Boy, talking about making it easy for me, Jim. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great birthday. I believe it's today based on the date that he set this thing for. And enjoy your 44th year. This is a cover of Dream On, originally, of course, by Aerosmith, performed by Cornbread Red, a favorite around here. Bluegrass covers. These guys did a whole bluegrass tribute to Aerosmith back in 2007, and it's start to finish, it's great. Covers their whole range, everything, the old stuff, like I said, Dream On and Sweet Emotion, all the way to the newer stuff like Love in an Elevator, Jamie's Got a Gun, Pink, all that stuff. So it's really, really good. Cornbread Red, their cover of Dream On.
See you guys tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I don't know anything about women.